What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. My name is Gillis the Kid. I'm here again with my friend Mike, and this time we've seen a new movie. It's not from the 80s or 90s. This is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, and Mike here will tell you all about who played in it, because I think this was a brand new person. So
this was the person who played Leatherface. Excuse me, was Mark Burnham. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with him. I don't know what other movies he's been in, but he's the person who played Leatherface. Because in the ones from like 2003 and 2006 was Andrew Bernarski. That was the guy who played him in the other one. So this is a new person. So.
And this guy, he's really tall too.
He is.
He's got to be at least
Leatherface,
over 6 foot. But this movie is supposedly, it's sort of like a sequel to what happened in the original
from
movie.
1974, 3 or 4, I believe.
It was either 74 or 76.
I think it was it was in the 70s. Yeah, it was somewhere around the original, right?
Yeah. So this movie is about a group of kids. They're like influencers, and they have like Instagram accounts and stuff like that. And they're trying to come to this town, which happens to be the same town that Leatherface lived in, and they want
his mother.
And his mother
we'll get
too,
to that
by
too. Right.
And they just want to like sell like their art and stuff like that in the town. And they want to convince other people to come too, but of course, things isn't going to go their way. But the movie started out at that gas station, I believe, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah. The guy in the guy in the store. We saw. Yeah. It was one of the two main characters was the sisters.
Yeah.
And it started off with them getting gas. That's when they eventually you see the other characters.
It was those two sisters.
The two sisters.
The one black guy and his girlfriend.
Right. The guy's name was Dante or Donovan. Donovan, I think it was.
It was Donovan.
Donovan, yeah.
But
on the cast here.
Oh yeah, they had that like it wasn't a Tesla. But it was some
Dante Spivey.
Yeah.
Dante Spivey. That was his name. Yeah, him and his one girlfriend. They were. I think they were engaged, right? Did they were they engaged or did they just dating? I forgot.
They said something about getting married.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna say. I can't remember if they were.
Yeah, they were in that like Tesla type vehicle.
Right.
That had autopilot on there. Because I was wondering how they were talking and not driving.
Right.
And then the one guy shows up for gas in the truck.
Right, he was. I think eventually found out he was like a mechanic, I believe. Right, they were. What was it? I forget. Just like watching it or something, or staring at it. I don't know.
Yeah, he was just trying to get gas.
Right, he was like talking funny.
Well, at first he was flirting with that one girl.
Right.
She seen he had a gun.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Eventually they left, and then eventually they got to the town.
Right. Which looked like a ghost town, by the way.
Yes.
Like,
and the mechanic was there.
Yep.
He ended up.
Yeah. How did he get there before them? Because they left.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe he took like a back road or something.
Back road, maybe. Yeah, it's like I guess maybe he lives in that town or he works there. I don't know.
Well, I remember her saying like, "How'd you get here?" Right. Yeah. Once he got there with them, he was fixing on the truck, and then the younger sister, I'm guessing she was the younger sister, she sort of split up, and she was talking to the guy, and he was showing her all the different kind of like weapons he had.
Right.
But then that's when she told him, she was involved in that school shooting.
Oh, okay, yeah. Right, because she saw the gun, right? She saw the gun, and she kind of like, I don't know. It's like she didn't want to touch. Yeah, it's like she didn't want to touch the gun.
Is it loaded? Right. Yeah. So then, finally, they meet his mom, and that's when Donovan and his girlfriend went into the house.
Well, Leatherface's mom.
Or Leatherface.
Leatherface's mom, right. Eventually, they finally went to the house. Yeah, because they didn't know that nobody was living there.
Right.
And that's what they said. They were,
It was exactly like the Jessica Biel movie,
right?
Where she's like, "Who's in my house?"
That was Monty, Uncle Monty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the legs. I'm not sure. Yeah, what are you doing in my house?
He's feeling all on her butt and.
Right. Yeah. Right. Right. So this is the mother, and eventually it got to the point where finally Dante, he was saying like, you know you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Supposedly he had a deed to the house that he couldn't prove that he had a deed to the house, so they were trying to kick her out.
Right. But then, because remember she kept saying, like, so I bought this place a while
Yeah, I have the deed.
I have the deed. This is my place.
Yeah, so...
And then, eventually they let, Dante and then like said, we're gonna get the police. And they walked away.
Because his mom had like an oxygen tank.
Right.
So... The one thing about this movie is that they showed Leatherface early.
Yes.
He was standing at the top of the steps.
Right. It was right when she supposedly had her heart attack or something, or.
Because at first she's like, "I'm fine," and then he walked back.
No, yeah, right. You just see him peeking, yeah. And then and then eventually that's when she started to have the heart attack.
Yeah.
Was it a heart
yeah.
attack,
He carried her out into the
ambulance. Well, she tried to put she had the oxygen tank too.
Mm-hmm.
She was like putting it on or something, right. Or. Excuse me.
I know the cop. He's like, "That's her son," and he carries her out.
Right.
That's
right. Because he rode with him. That's right.
Yeah.
He got Leatherface got on the back with him as they were driving. That's when the fiance. That's when she said, "I'm gonna ride."
Yeah.
With him.
Oh yeah. She told the other girl, "You stay here. I'm gonna ride."
Yeah, because she wanted to go. Because she kept saying she thought it was her fault. She kept saying, "It's like, no, it's my fault." Because why was she saying? Why did she keep saying it was her fault? I forgot what happened.
They all walked in the house, but they were just arguing over whose fault it was.
Whose fault was okay, right.
Because eventually, in the back of the ambulance, she finally died.
She just died, right? I know her, right? Yeah. And they see, Leatherface. He's just sitting back there, and then the cop, the cop's like, look at it, funny. He's just like,
oh yeah, he's got the tank, and he's trying to like. Give her oxygen.
Right, try to help her out here, and then that's when Leatherface just finally just started this. Yeah. Well, you know what happened? He snapped.
Oh yeah.
Finally, that's when he grabbed. Oh my God, he grabbed his arm, and then
I guess he broke the guy's arm.
It was like
right here,
right around here. It's like,
he broke it here, and then he stabs him with his arm.
It's like he pulled it out or something. He's like, it's like.
That part surprised me. I didn't see that coming.
And then eventually he kills, then the cop, and then the cop that was driving. I forgot how he died.
I think he stabbed him.
Did he just stab him? Just put it. Yeah, I know. I forgot.
The movie is dark too. It was like really dark at some points.
Well, eventually they got, and that's when they eventually crashed.
Yeah.
They crashed, and then the fiance, I guess she was either out or she was, she had to be quiet. She had to be quiet. Yeah.
Well, she did pretty good playing dead.
Right, because after they crashed, that's when Leatherface took his mother out, and then of course that's when he started to take her skin off, skin her face off.
See, at first I thought he was trying to cut the face from the cop off, but then that was actually his mom.
It was his mother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when he looks up, and then
she's on the radio like, he's cutting the face off. He's wearing a face.
Right. Well, it took her a few minutes because first she's like she couldn't talk.
I gotta say though, this is one of the first movies I kind of feel sorry for Leatherface. Right. Like they actually killed his mom.
Right, and she was calling the guy at the beginning of the movie at the store or whatever it was.
That's right. He heard her on the other end of the radio, and then he called the girl who is supposed to have been the original actor in the movie.
Right. That would be. That was Olin for, if I'm saying it right, Owen Foray. Yeah, Sally Hardesty. The character's name was Sally Hardesty, but Olin Foray. was now technically she wasn't the original person that was in the that was in the '74 version.
Right.
It was Marilyn Burns.
I didn't think that was the same actor.
Right, actress. Yeah, she passed away. Yeah, Marilyn Burns. She passed away in 2014.
Right.
So this was so this was another character playing that role. So yeah, Sally. Yeah, she played what did I say again? Sally Hardesty.
So the original actor who played in the '70 movie passed
away in 2014. Right. This is somebody else.
Just to clarify that.
Right.
Yep.
And as we were saying, when she was in, the fiance was in the van. At first she had to. She did pretty.
Well, she was gutting a pig too.
Yeah.
Remember that? She was like cutting a pig open.
Yeah. Well, she was, the fiance. She was quiet too. When real fast, because remember, eventually you see Leatherface peeks his head in the car.
Yeah.
That's when
She plays dead.
Yeah, she did it pretty fast, and then eventually she tried to escape.
Yeah, I think he knew that she was still alive. So.
Yeah, so she didn't go too far, and I forget, I don't think he had a knife or something. I forget what he had. And he like stabbed her in in her stomach or whatever.
Yeah.
He's just like cut around or cut through. It was like one or the other. So
if you like gore, this is a pretty.
Gory.
I mean, all of the movies were gory.
Yeah.
But this was like.
Right. I mean, from 2003, 2006.
Right.
The one that came out a couple years ago. That was kind of like a prequel too.
Mm-hmm.
The one that took place at the hospital, and this one, and of course.
I liked the prequel. It was okay.
Yeah, it was. I still say, in my opinion, the Jessica Biel version was probably one of the best ones.
Oh yeah,
in my opinion.
yeah.
I think that was the best one. So
so after he killed her,
the fiance, right?
Yeah, he walked back to the house.
Right, he went back to the house with his new face, his mother's face.
That's where he got the black guy. Supposedly, when he sliced that guy.
Well, remember, yeah. What happened was, they eventually wanted to leave, I think.
Oh yeah.
That's when the mechanic, said he said to them, well, he took the keys off the bus. Remember?
Yeah.
He took the keys off the bus, and that's what he said.
Well,
you find a deed, I'll give you the keys.
Yeah. The girl in the truck texts the other girl back at the house.
Right.
And she told her
died,
that the mother died.
Right. That's why they were. Yeah, I think that's why eventually they were trying to leave.
That's when they went back to the bus, and she was like, "Do you have the deed?" She was like, "I want to see it." And he's like, "Oh, I must have left it back in Austin,
office, in Austin or office or something." Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's when the mechanic said, "You find the deed, I'll give you keys back."
Right. I liked that guy too, the military type dude with
the
rifle.
It seemed like he was kind of a jerk at the beginning. Eventually,
Mm-hmm.
but eventually, we'll get to when Reverend News is about to die, but.
After that, the bus comes with all the other students, or the people from Instagram, wherever they were from.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what was it? So what was that? So what was that all about? They were just like a get together for.
Yeah, it was just like a get together to like sell stuff in the town and bring the town back to normal.
Ah, okay, right.
But most of the kids, they were like half drunk anyway, so they weren't really like participating.
Right.
Yeah, they only got off the bus, like to set up everything, and then eventually, it started to rain.
Right. Now why? Now Dante and the one sister, they went. Now why did they go back in the house? They went back in the house to. They want to see if they could find a deed, deed for that the mother had. Right.
Which she did find upstairs.
She found and that's when
that made her feel even worse because now she really felt like she.
Right, because I kept saying, you don't live. That's
She's like, did we kick that lady out of the house?
Yeah.
So.
And eventually that's why she felt bad now. Right. She was sad the whole time, most of the time. And then of course eventually found out Leatherface went back to the house, and that's when Dante.
He was just snooping around, and then he got they showed him get. Cut.
He got cut around. Yeah, it was around his. It was around his jaw, around the side of his jaw, I think, or something.
Right.
And he was on the ground for a few minutes. So just assumed he was dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then then eventually the sister went back out. She went back out. Did she see him? I forget. Did she see him?
She didn't see him because she was talking with that guy.
Okay.
And then her sister went to go back and get her.
Okay.
But around that time, it started to rain.
Right.
And
That's
then they,
that's when
yeah.
right, because that's when Dante. Yeah, because that's when Dante he was still alive. You actually you see him getting up.
Yeah.
Of course, he's like walking. Of course, he was walking real slow, and then the other lady, she was like what, the teacher or whatever.
Yeah, she was sort of like she was a teacher, but she was also, I think she was funding the whole trip too. But she told everyone to get back on the bus.
Right.
Because she's seen what happened to
Dante.
Dante.
And the mechanic saw him too, I think, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, because remember because you even told her, she's like, oh, go call the police.
Yeah.
Call the police.
The mechanic is the one who was helping him.
Right.
And he told her to get back on the bus.
Told her to get back on the bus. Yeah, get back on the bus and call the police.
You know what's funny? The bus driver was always asleep.
Yeah, remember that? Yeah, he had his head down. He was
like he
drunk
fell asleep,
yeah.
and then she woke him up, and then like he fell asleep again. They were partying. Maybe he drank something and
had a few drinks. I remember when she got on the bus too. The lady she didn't even say it, like she didn't even say it. She just kept saying just like shut the door, shut the door.
Right.
What was going on? Like that. She didn't explain like why or anything. And she just said just stay on the bus.
That was a pretty cool bus too, because like in the front it had the seats, and then in the back it was like the party area.
Yeah, it was like a party room. Yeah, right. Yeah, they're all drinking. They were all drinking and dancing and everything.
But yeah, in classic fashion, Leatherface comes back and he starts murdering them one by one.
Right. Eventually. Right. Then eventually. That's right. Because eventually he finally got the chainsaw.
Yeah.
That's right, because
the chainsaw was in the wall, wasn't it?
It was either in the wall or in the closet or something.
Remember he had that hammer and he was like banging the wall open.
Right. First he was doing that too. And then eventually, and don't forget, the mechanic, then he went into the house.
Yep, he got.
That's right, because the sister, she. That's right. She never left the house. That's right. I think when Dante...
She was stuck there.
That's right, because when Dante left, that's right. Dante left. She stayed. That's right. I forgot. She stayed.
Yeah.
That's right. That's when he... That's right. Then eventually the mechanic went in. And that's when eventually he got... Yeah, that's when him and the Leatherface duked it out.
Yep.
Threw him on the... That's when he threw him on the ground. That's when he took the hammer. Yeah. Oh my God. Then he... kept whacking him in the head.
He smashed his head.
He smashed his head like 4 or 5 times together.
Yeah. Before he did that though, the mechanic gave her the keys.
Yeah, then finally he takes he takes the keys out. He was gonna give them to her. And that's when she was all quiet, like grabbing the keys and being all nice and quiet and all.
She climbed over the
the railing and. And then of course, and that's when Leatherface was right there.
Yeah.
That's when he threw the hammer. Yeah, she fell all the way down the floor.
He hit her with the hammer, and then she fell through the stairs.
Fell through the stairs, right?
Yeah.
And then that's when he had the chainsaw. That's when he started chasing her. Well, she was down below, so he kept. He finally put the chainsaw down the floor, and he just kept like.
Yeah, he's like
walking. Yeah, he's like walking up all the way up until.
He cuts the pipe with all the crap coming out of it on her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then her other sister, how did she find out? How did she find out she was in the house?
It was like a little grate, but she pulled her out.
Okay. Did she hear? I forgot. Did she hear her yelling for help? I forgot what happened.
Yeah, she was yelling, but everyone was pretty much,
partying.
They were partying.
Party.
Yep,
right.
That's
when they both around the bus. We got here it is.
The bus scene is probably one of the funniest scenes.
Right. Well, they got
their cell phones and they're like, "Oh, you're what did he say? You're canceled."
You're canceled. Yeah. Right. That's when Leatherface. Yeah. Finally, he got on the bus with a chainsaw.
It's just the comments on there that was funny.
Right. And so as he was getting ready to start killing people, they were all commenting.
He had him on Instagram Live or something.
But it was recording. Right. He was he was like recording. He was recording on the phone.
Yep. So
he massacred
everybody on the bus.
Carried everybody on the bus. Well, the 2 sisters they hid in the it was like the bathroom part. And then the teacher, of course, the black guy, she was like the last one left. As she tried to climb out the window, and eventually.
You mean to tell me they couldn't like out of all that commotion, like you couldn't have like ducked and trying to
Yeah, or yeah, like maybe like where the seats were at, like maybe
because that's what she eventually did, and then she tried to climb out the window and got like sawed in half.
Right, going to the seats, crawl, just crawl till you get right. Because you figure Leatherface, like if you were crawling here, Leatherface would be like walking to the back,
exactly.
So you'd be in the front, and you'd be like, all right, then you're off the bus, and you flee. Excuse me, flee for
it's just life. Funny how the two sisters managed to get into the bathroom and no one else survived but them.
And eventually he saw them. He was on the outside, and then he saw them.
And what kind of bathroom has like a window up top anyway? I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I've never.
You're right. I mean, you need privacy.
It just happened to have like a window on top where they can escape.
Yeah, right. People can watch it.
Oh, that's when what's her name showed up too with the truck.
Right, Sally. Right, Sally. Right, and that's when she came. Right, she came into after they called her. Yeah.
Because at this point in the movie, everyone's dead, so it's like.
Right.
There's really no one else left.
Right. It was just mainly the two sisters. Mm-hmm. How did they get? Yeah, I know. How did they get out of the bathroom? Because I remember did he go outside and go to the window?
He was sawing through the door, and then her sister opened it.
Okay.
And then she stabbed him with that little chainsaw souvenir.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
okay,
and then she climbed out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he wasn't outside. He was still inside. That's right.
Right.
And then she finally right, and they were able to get outside and escape. That's when he bumped into Sally. That's when Sally came. She said, "Get in the back."
But she had him though. She went to the house. He's sitting on the bed, and he's sad. She's got the shotgun, and she doesn't do anything. Because she's like, "Oh, this is for She was naming all the names.
Oh, that's when the first time, yeah.
But why didn't she just shoot him then? It's just you gotta think.
Remember, yeah. She says, "You remember me? You remember me?" Well, eventually she
let him walk away.
Right. Well, then she got out of the car. She got out of the car, and they wanted to get out. She's like, I can't. Or, remember they wanted to get out of the car. Let's get out of here.
Then she finally gives them the keys. Get the hell out of here.
Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. And then she tried to start shooting him.
She tried to fight him.
She tried to fight him. Yeah, she was like brave and.
Like you have a shotgun, just shoot him. Like why are you trying to
use as a weapon? Then the chainsaw. And then didn't go too well.
She shot him and then like he ran in the alley. And remember he like charged at her.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was right. She kept calling him out or something. And then he came out and they started fighting. Yeah, and then eventually then they put the chainsaw through.
Yeah, he threw her too.
Threw her in the stomach or like in her stomach or something. Yeah. And then he threw her into the like trash cans or something.
Then the sisters tried to hit him with the truck and they crashed.
Right.
He threw the chainsaw at the window.
Right. And just when if I'm saying it right, he was about to.
He's about to kill
one of the sisters. Right as he was about to do. Well, she shot Sally. She shot him didn't she shoot him a couple times before she died, right? Yeah.
But I mean, she would have took him out with that assault rifle if it would have worked. But he chased her out, and then that's when Sally shot him again.
Right.
She was on the ground.
Right, she was on the ground. That's what I'm saying. Right. That's right before I was like. Then she I think she just died right there.
She told her. She said if you run, he'll always haunt you.
He'll always haunt you. Right. So. And that's what. Right. And that's when she. That's when she grabbed the. That's right. Then she grabbed the gun. Mm-hmm. That's right. Because Leatherface was going toward the other sister because she was still on the bus, right? Yeah. And that's when he was getting right. And then he was getting ready to grab her or something. And that's when she shot him. And then she got out of the bus. Mm-hmm. And then what did he went after her?
Yeah, he went after the younger sister.
The one with the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had the gun, right.
And then he tackled her in the water, and that's when she climbed back out to get the shotgun.
Okay, that's right. Right, that's when she was about to grab the shotgun, but then he kicked it away from her.
And then he goes to finish her off and. Her older sister comes with the gun. Right, she jumped on his back.
That's right, yeah. That's right, 'cause she was she was like in a trance, the other sister. She was flashed back into the school incident. Yep. Remember that? Right, and then you see her, right. Then eventually you see the other sister on top of it. Yeah, she's like on top of it. And then
But,
then she gets up and then she starts shooting him. Shot him like a couple times, and then eventually he fell down in the water. Yeah.
It's funny because out of nowhere, her sister gets the chainsaw, and then she just. Remember, she hit him like.
Oh, that's right too. Before that, right? The one sister grabbed that.
She ran out of bullets with the shotgun.
Right.
So she was like, "Oh, damn." And then.
Right. Then he grabbed the. Right. She grabbed the other sister grabbed a chainsaw. That's right. I forgot about that. Like under his neck or something. And then she was putting the bullets in. And she was putting the bullets in too, right? Yeah. That's when she was able to start shooting at. She didn't
work any guns.
Right.
My theory is that
the outfit he had on,
the
apron,
soaked up some of the damage. So
right, as we were saying, she shot him a few times. He fell on the ground in the water, and then it looked like he thought he drowned because he kept going.
Right. And then
they were getting.
It was like daylight.
It was like it was like dawn.
In every horror movie, it's like after everything happens, then it turns daylight.
Right, it was kind of like dawn. It was like right about the dawn. They were both getting in. They were getting in a car. Whose car was it?
That was Dante's car. That was the car they came there in.
Oh, is that Dante's car? Okay.
Yeah. And then she put on the autopilot for the car to drive by itself.
Yeah. Right.
She's like, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. Right.
And what happens after that?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And he called it too. You called it before it happened.
I just had that feeling. I don't think he was gonna go that easily.
He takes her head.
Well, first he that's right. He pulled the one. That's right. He pulled the one sister out of the car, and the other sister, she was like looking up. Yep. Yeah. And just nice and easy, quick easy death. Yeah, he's right by her.
The best part is like he's holding it up like a trophy. Like I got her. I got your sister.
And she's just like looking. Oh, and then no, and then Leatherface you just see him twirling the chainsaw around. Just goes into the screen, and then that's how
that was pretty much it.
And that was pretty much it. So. Yeah.
But if you've never seen the Texas Chainsaw movies, not only are there good movies, but it was based off of a true story years ago. And, I'll drop all of the links down into the description so you can see all the characters.
I wonder if Harlow would have been in this one if he was still alive.
I would have hoped he would have been.
I know he would have been older today, but because he was pretty good. He was pretty good in the earlier ones.
Yeah, he was like one of the best characters. Like he was the movie.
Oh yeah, the way he treated the kids in the other ones.
He was hilarious.
Oh, he was. Yeah. So. Yeah. But he of course passed away a while back. So. And the director of the movie, but I don't know if I mentioned the director or not. His name was David Blue Garcia.
Yep. And a new director.
So, right, because the ones with Jessica Biel and in the 2006 was Michael Bay, if I'm saying it right. Of course, he did Transformers, and he did a couple of movies.
This guy did a pretty good job.
He did. This for a brand remake, brand new edition, brand new remake.
Right.
So.
That's.
And then just real fast too, the narration, by the way, they did bring back what's his name, but that was new for the narration. That was John Larroquette, by the way.
Okay.
That did the narration at the beginning.
Yeah.
The way he says the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right.
That was him. Of
course. I was gonna say that
was him. Yeah, John Larroquette from.
They're most likely, they're gonna make another sequel.
I think there was supposedly there might have been talks about it. Hopefully if this one does, if a lot of people tune into this one, hopefully I'm going to assume a couple years, maybe not next year, but hopefully a couple of years there'll be another edition. Maybe most likely it'll be new kids, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
kind of like a Friday 13th.
Right.
New kids,
because they did the actual story,
right,
and then they did the prequel, and then I guess this was the sequel, and
Right.
They'll figure out something to do.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it'll come out. Hopefully they will come out with a new edition in a couple of years, and we'll make sure we do a review on that one.
Oh yeah.
And as we said, don't forget. As of right now, this is available only on Netflix.
Right.
So if you want to see it, you got to go. If you have Netflix, you got Netflix subscribers. That's where it's available. So, and hopefully in the future, of course, hopefully maybe they'll release it on the DVD and Blu-ray. So
Yeah, I would guess they would.
I hope they do. Definitely. I'm a collector. I collect horror movies, so me being a horror movie myself, collector, so I probably get it.
But that's all I have for now.
I think we're good. I know we didn't get to study too much of the other kids, like what other roles they did. I'm not, like I said, I'm not too familiar with everybody, but you know, as always, we covered as much as we remember the storyline.
Right.
So, but yeah, I would recommend it. I would check it out. And once again, it's on Netflix, so if you have it, check it out. And good, it might be a little scary, but give it a shot.
Yeah.
so.
Yep.
But
So
yes, I think
yeah, I mean, you know, as always, we'll have some more videos coming up
Yeah.
pretty soon. We'll have some more '80s movies coming up pretty
Right,
soon.
and we'll get back. We'll get back to the '80s movies eventually. Maybe we'll get back to. Maybe we'll do the Friday 13th down the road. I know we've done Freddy down the road, so hopefully maybe Michael Myers. We'll get back to them all soon. So.
Yep.
And as always, if you have any requests, just leave in the comments below. Just leave a comment, and like I said, if we have it, we'll find it. We'll watch it, and we'll give our take on it. So.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Gillis the Kid. Thanks again, Mike, for coming.
No problem, my friend.
And as always, we will catch you on the next one. Peace.